Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to another episode of Hey Sister Girl. I hope that you guys can hear me. I hope that I'm audible. And yeah, so welcome back. My name is Robyn Heron and I am your carnivorous grandma. And as always, I am so thankful that you are here tonight. I am missing my buddy, G. She is back out on the ship. And so, yeah, if you're wondering where she is, she's living her best life. All right. So she's back out there on the water enjoying her cruise adventure. And so we're here tonight. We're going to tackle a little topic that has been on my mind. I came across this article earlier this week or last week. And hi, Talea. How are you? So glad you're here. Yes, so we're going to talk about this topic that's been on my mind ever since I came across this new article, a new study involving the carnivore diet and the gut microbiome. So I was like, oh, fascinating. Let me just check into this and see what this is all about. So, we're going to talk about carnivore again tonight because that's what we talk about. We talk about primarily meat-based way of eating over here on Hey Sister Girl because it has changed our lives. But tonight is about a bigger question. And this is about questioning what we have been taught. We all should be very curious and wondering why, we've been following all the guidelines, doing all the things, and things are still not getting better. So we need to learn how to think critically about our health information, question everything, and ask better questions, right? Have some of the things that we have been accepting as truth, do they need a second look? Yeah. So the question that we're asking tonight is, do you really need fiber to be healthy? And so, welcome everybody. I'm so glad that, yeah, come on in, come on in. Let me know where you're watching from down in the comments. I'm glad to see you guys here tonight. Do you really need fiber to be healthy? So, this is an interesting question because I have a child who lives in my house and she works in gastroenterology. And so her answer would definitely be yes. Definitely be yes. For most of our lives, we've been presented this definite and unquestionable yes to the question, do you really need fiber to be healthy? But this new study is causing researchers to take a closer look. So, the study that I'm talking about was led by researchers. I can't even say these names. Andrea Karasik and Romia Gregorovic from the Gut Microbiome Center in Zagreb, Croatia. And what they did was they collaborated with scientists from Microbiomes NGS GmbH, which is a German biotech company, and the University Hospital Sveti Duh, also in Zagreb. So, yeah, they compared the gut microbiome of long-term carnivore dieters to omnivores. What is an omnivore? That is a person that eats both plant and animal. So, and I thought this was fascinating. So, hopefully, this is interesting to you guys. We're not going to necessarily talk specifically about carnivore tonight, but we are going to talk about the gut microbiome, which is a huge factor in our health, right? So if you want to see that full paper, I will definitely have the link that is down below in the description box, and you can look at that full paper. It is published in Microbiota and Host, and at Bioscientifica. Okay, so just so you know, I did some research. I found this article, and I'm like, this is so interesting. It's fascinating to me. So, what have we been taught around fiber? What did you guys get told? How much fiber do you need a day, right? Can you live your life without fiber? We grew up hearing the same health message. Eat your vegetables, right? Eat your whole grains. Uh, Make sure you're getting enough fiber. Fiber keeps you regular, and fiber feeds your gut bacteria. Fiber protects your heart. Fiber helps you live longer. So, for decades, these messages have been repeated by doctors, dietitians, schools, television commercials, magazines, and public health organizations. And the assumption has become that more fiber automatically equals better health. Like, some of these fiber powders and things like that that they're saying to take for gut health, right? So I'm questioning that. I'm questioning whether that story is simple as we've been told, that we need more fiber. Because I'm telling y'all now, I haven't had fiber in 3.5 years. I haven't had fiber in 3.5 years, okay? So the story is obviously not as simple and straightforward as what you would think. Somebody's asking about my dad. When is the last time I heard from Robert? Robert is my dad and it's been a long time. I talked to my dad just was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Yeah, I just talked to him the day before yesterday. He's doing good. He had a cold. So, but yeah. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. All right. Yeah, so I'm questioning that whether this story is as simple as we've been told. Like you need fiber. I'm going to tell you that my friend Dr. Kiltz he says that fiber is like a Brillo pad going through your colon. Now, we all know what a Brillo pad is, right? And we know that a colon is soft tissue, right? So if you scrape a Brillo pad on soft tissue, what's going to happen? Okay, so that is his analogy that we have regarding what fiber does in the colon. And I know a couple of different people who have lost their colon from too much fiber. Okay, so I'm questioning, like, do we need fiber? I have discovered that I do not need fiber. And we'll talk a little bit about my experience coming up. So, our bodies are super complex, and we should not reduce our health down to slogans and sound bites. We miss important pieces of the puzzle when we do that. Okay. So, let me tell you about my experience. As I said, I've been primarily meat based way of eating for 3.5 years. What does that mean? That means that I don't eat any plants. I don't eat fruits, vegetables. I don't eat any cakes, pies, cookie, pasta, rice. I don't eat any grains at all. I eat meat and I eat eggs. I eat seafood. Okay. And before I started doing that, though, I had a lot of digestive issues, right? My stomach, I had IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And we talk about it all the time over here on Hey Sister Girl because it is a thing. People are concerned with the ability to have a bowel movement. And so I definitely was one that was struggling with that. I had a problem. I really think it runs in the family, right? I think it runs in the family because I think that there are other people in my family that have the same problem with their bowels, okay? And so I had digestive issues really since I was a child that I can remember. I see these same things happening with my grandkids, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want these babies to go off of plants to see if that will solve their problem. Anyway, I had eczema. I still have eczema, y'all. Over the weekend, I had a couple of things that had, I think, some seed oils in them by accident, and pretty much my eczema is flaring up. If you watch my video tonight, you'll get a chance to see these blisters that are on my finger. Yeah, so that eczema, I had the seasonal allergies. Now, I think that this is a really interesting one because I did not know that seasonal allergies were food related. And so it turns out that they are for me. And seasonal allergies, I had chronic debilitating anxiety, I had fatigue. And so, like most people, like most of us, I followed the advice that I had been given for years. I didn't even realize that you could live without fiber. I did not know that until I tried it. And so I wasn't getting the results I wanted. So, what I did was February 22nd, 2023, I went on an elimination way of eating. I didn't add more fiber to try to deal with this IBS. I have been dealing with IBS all my life, my whole since I was a kid. So not adding more fiber, but elimination, removing foods from my way of eating, right? So we've all heard of an elimination diet, but what are you eliminating? Most people are probably eliminating meat, they're eliminating fat, they're eliminating all the good things that you need to be healthy. And so I eliminated sugar and carbohydrates from my way of eating. So what did I stop eating? I stopped eating fruits and vegetables. I stopped eating rice and pasta, cakes, cookies, pies, candy bars. I stopped eating all of those carbs. And I started eating a bunch of zero carbohydrate food, which is meat and fat, zero carbs. And so the big surprise that I had when I did this was not what got worse. Nothing actually got worse. Everything got better. It was a game changer. My digestion improved. By day 31 on carnivore, primarily meat-based, my bowels were at like normal, which I had never really experienced that I could remember. It was like the heavens opened up, really. And my anxiety improved, my eczema cleared up. It took about 9 months for the eczema to clear up. My allergies improved so fast. Like I started in February, and that spring, I didn't have any allergies. Now, my family knows I was the one who couldn't go on the hayride, or I would force myself to go on the hayride, and I would come out with my eyes just completely swollen up. I had terrible allergies all year round. It improved. And so this brings me to start asking questions. Like, do we need to ask some better questions about what's really going on? Because according to everything that I had been taught, removing fiber-rich foods should have made things worse. It should have damaged my gut microbiome, right? So instead, for me, after about 30 days, many things started to improve. So let me just say this, that my single story of eliminating fiber doesn't necessarily prove anything scientifically, but there's so many of us out here, thousands and thousands of us out here who are eating no fiber and living our best life and, very well able to utilize the restroom, right? So the question is, why did those gut issues get better on carnivore? That is a very good question. I am so glad you asked. So when we talk about this new research that came out, it's super interesting because they looked at individuals who had been following a carnivore diet, carnivore meaning primarily meat-based way of eating for a long term. So, an extended time frame. And this means that the people the people consume little to no plant foods. That's me. I consume very, very little plant foods. The most I do is a little bit of seasoned salt, really good high quality seasoned salt. Every now and then I'll add a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder or a little bit of onion powder. And tonight I had some shrimp and I put some Slap Your Mama on it. Not Slap Your Mama, Tony Chachery's. Doesn't have any sugar in it, and then Old Bay seasoning. So a little bit of seasoning. That's the most plant food that I get. So these people were not consuming plants, right? So according to the traditional narrative, we might have expected their gut microbiome to be devastated, wiped out. We might expect serious digestive dysfunction, but that's not what the researchers found. Okay, what they found was that the microbiomes of these individuals look different from people eating mixed diets. So, let me see if I can like ban you because you're nasty. You're nasty, sir or ma'am. All right. What they found was that the microbiomes of these individuals just looked different from people eating mixed diets. It looked different. It wasn't absent, it wasn't destroyed, it wasn't devastated, it was just different. And I knew that. Actually, let me tell you how I knew. Because when I was converting over to carnivore for that first 30 days, my gut biome rebelled on me. And it said, I don't like what you're doing. Give me some sugar. And I didn't. And on day 31, I had that amazing result, right? So it was a different. The gut microbiome transitioned over. So the biome appeared to adapt to the dietary environment, which is exactly what it does. It should not surprise us because our human bodies are designed to adapt. If you think about this, in the wintertime, doesn't your body adapt to the cold? Where you would be outside when it's summertime, if you were outside and it was 50 degrees, you'd be freezing. In the wintertime, when you go outside and it's 50 degrees, it feels like summertime, right? So your body, the human body is designed to be adaptive. It adapts to things like altitude. We fly all the time. We go up and come down and our ears might pop or something like that, but our bodies adapt to that altitude. Our bodies adapt to when we do exercise. Some of us do high intensity exercise and really work it out. Your body makes an adaptation for that. And then it adapts to things like fasting. If you want to do a long-term fast, it's easier to do it if you're primarily meat-based. However, if you want to fast and not eat anything, you will live. There was a guy who fasted for like over a year, and literally fasted for 370 something days. Unbelievable. And his body adapted to that. And so, yeah, it adapts to changing environments. So, our body, our gut microbiome is no different. It adapts to a different dietary pattern more effectively than we've assumed. We think if we don't eat fiber, we're going to have all these problems. But come to find out, I don't eat fiber and everything is better than what it was when I was having the fiber. So this new silent science challenges the idea that there's only one path to gut health, and that path includes fiber. So, yes, if I was talking to my daughter, she'd be like, "Yes, you need to have some fiber, take some Metamucil." But I would not. I would not take some. So maybe we're asking the wrong question, right? One of the most interesting thoughts I had while reading about this study was maybe we're asking the wrong questions, right? So for years, the question is like, how much fiber are you eating? How much? Are you having enough fiber? But perhaps a better question is, what's making people sick in the first place? What's making people sick in the first place? Why is it that you have IBS with constipation? Or why is it that you have IBS with diarrhea? Why is it that you're having all these gut problems? That's a really good question. We need to be asking that question. What's making people sick in the first place? Because while we've been focusing on fiber, something else have been happening. I want you to look around in your mind's eye. Rates of obesity have skyrocketed. I mean, literally skyrocketed. Type 2 diabetes has skyrocketed. I think they're saying now 1 in 3. It might even be 1 in 2 now, but 1 in 3 people have type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetic. That's a crazy amount of people, right? Autoimmune conditions have increased. There's even autoimmune conditions that we never even heard of before that people are having. That's going up, skyrocketing, right? Digestive disorders have increased, and anxiety and depression have increased. So many people, I'm listening to people, talking about, self-care and getting therapy and being on antidepressants. And in fact, I think I heard one doctor that said, I'm gonna have to go back and find out who that was, that said every woman should be on an antidepressant. Why? Why should we do that? Right? So that anxiety and depression it has skyrocketed. I'm telling you, I was going to the point where I was not going to be able to leave my house. I was so anxious and so afraid of everything. And so yeah, it really has increased. Chronic illness has increased. All of these things are increasing during a time when people have been repeatedly encouraged to eat more grains, eat more processed foods marked as healthy. Y'all know about those 100-calorie packs. Look on the back of the box and see what the ingredients is in that. Eat more snacks. You're eating, instead of eating like 3 meals a day, now you're eating 7 times a day because you have to have a snack every couple of hours. And then more ultra processed food products. I say food with quotes, right? It's not real food. It's ultra processed and designed to be extremely addictive. So the question probably isn't whether people need more fiber. The better question is whether people need less of the foods that are actually truly damaging their health. We need less sugar. You guys, I am on a rampage about this overconsumption problem that we have, where we are having way, way, way too much sugar. That sugar, that the amounts of carbohydrates that we are eating is causing all manner of diseases, including the problem that say you need fiber for. And so we need less sugar. In fact, if you're able to eliminate sugar from your diet, you're going to be doing good, right? We need less processed food. Ultra processed food, you think about how fast that gets into your bloodstream. And yeah, that refined flour also gets into your bloodstream. And then, of course, we talk about seed oils. I want to say, what is a seed oil? We're talking about vegetable oil. Do you have a big old gallon of vegetable oil in your kitchen? What about canola oil? What is a canola anyway? I don't even know what that is. Corn oil. How much corn do you think it takes to process that corn oil? These oils are not meant for human consumption. They're literally designed for machinery, and they look so good, and they were able to de-smell them, remove the smell, and then start feeding it to us. Yeah, you need to eliminate those industrial seed oils from your diet because they are toxic. So these are the questions that we need to ask. We need to be asking about sugar, refined foods and processed foods, flour, and industrial seed oils. Those are some really good questions to ask. So, what I want to tell you is that gut health is big business. Are you aware that gut health is a $1 billion business? Everywhere you look, there's another supplement, there's another powder, another prebiotic or probiotic, another gut health drink, kombucha, that you can go to the store and buy, right? Another digestive product promising to fix what ails you. The gut health industry is literally worth billions of dollars. Why do you think they have you running back to the store for that Metamucil? Because it's a $1 billion industry. So they might help some people. I don't know. Could be possible. I think that if you go carnivore, your gut problem is going to go away. So I wonder how many people are trying to supplement their way out of problems that are being created by diet, by too much sugar, too many carbohydrates. So we're looking for the perfect supplement. We want to supplement our way out of this problem that we have, right? And what we're doing is we're just putting a band-aid on the problem, and it's not going to get better until we address the root cause. The root cause in most cases is too much sugar, too many carbohydrates. So we're looking for some perfect supplements, and we should be looking at the foods that are showing up on our plate every day. What are you eating? I be looking at TikTok, y'all, and I see all these plates full of amazing foods that are going to make you sick. a plate full of greens and macaroni and cheese and candied yams and all of that stuff, it's way too many carbs, way too many carbs. So sometimes subtraction is more powerful than addiction. Subtract the things those high carbohydrate foods, you need to subtract those and add in some more meat, some more fat. So this is true in my journey that subtraction was definitely a game changer and really, really changed everything. So, what does this study not prove? So, the study does not prove that everyone should eat a carnivore diet. Although I believe that most people could benefit from an elimination diet, especially those that are suffering with metabolic disease or autoimmune conditions. So the study itself does not prove that. But over here at Hey Sister Girl, we talk about eating a primarily meat based way of eating because it's changed our lives, right? And so the study does suggest that the relationship between diet and gut health is probably far more complicated than many people realize. In fact, I think I need to like dig a little deeper on the gut microbiome and really understand. I think that gut microbiome is it's a whole colony, it's a whole nation in there that is talking. Have you ever heard the term that sugar talks? When you eat sugar, you're going to want more sugar. That's because that gut microbiome is saying, yes, I love sugar, and sending signals to the brain to say, eat some more sugar, right? So the gut microbiome is super, super duper complex. I think they're still trying to figure it out. And so, this science, we want to talk about it because we want to generate curiosity and 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 thoughtfulness about the things that we are doing and what we're allowing into our lives. Science should be about asking questions, you know, and then answering them through actually scientific studies. So I was super excited to see that they literally did an actual scientific study on this. So science should be about investigating ideas rather than protecting assumptions, which is why we are here in the first place. Why we're here in this place where we are eating all these carbohydrates is because somebody wanted to protect their assumption. They assumed that red meat, and fat cause problems. They made an assumption and then proliferated that all around the world. And now we have a whole bunch of very, very sick people because we're eating the wrong foods. So we need to question. We need to question everything and keep learning about what's going on with our bodies. All right, you guys, I'm getting ready to wrap it up. So, but I want to say this. So one of the most dangerous words in health is the word everyone. Everyone should eat this. Everyone should avoid that. Everyone needs this supplement. Everyone needs a multivitamin. Everyone needs this amount of fiber. Everyone should follow this plan or that plan. And so the more that I learn and the older I get, the less interested I am in this universal nutrition rules. That my plate did not work for everybody. Those 1,000 calories did not work for everybody, or 1,200 calories, or whatever it was that you did, right? Hey, Scooby the dog. Welcome. So glad to see you here. So, and then I'm becoming more and more interested in helping people understand their own bodies. It has really become a passion. So, I want to ask questions like, how do you feel when you eat this or that? What are your symptoms? Are you covering them up with a Band-Aid, or are we discovering the root cause? What are your labs talking about? What are they telling you? As you guys probably saw my lab video up here with Nurse Laura recently. What happens when you take certain foods out? Do you take certain foods out? Do you ever try that to remove it to see, does it cause you any problems? I think some people are afraid to remove foods because they're afraid that if I remove French fries, I'll find out I can't tolerate French fries, which is what happened to me. I found out that I can't eat potatoes at all because it's starch, it's a sugar bomb, right? And yeah, so these questions do matter. You need to be asking questions. At the end of the day, your body is telling a story. Let me bring this picture up if I can find it really quick. Um, hmm. Mm. This one. Yeah. At the end of the day, your body is literally telling a story. It is talking to you. It is trying to tell you something, but we're too busy figuring out how to eat that next snack, how to get that next candy bar, how to get that next fix, right? We're too busy to see that our body is literally crying out for help and telling us that we have a problem here. Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, we don't realize it. So what I want you to know is that if you are looking like that, if you are heavier than you want to be, if you are having skin conditions, autoimmune, if you are having chronic illnesses that they say are incurable, you need to ask better questions. You need to ask better questions. And don't take what they're saying for the gospel because it really is not working, right? It's not working. Those pills, ointments, potions are not working. Those smoothies are not working, okay? Your body's trying to tell you a story. You've been following all the rules. I did all the diets, y'all, all of them. And I never got healthier. Never got healthier, except with keto. I was able to eliminate hypertension. With a ketogenic way of eating, I was able to eliminate hypertension, right? So you're following the rules. You're doing what your doctor and your dietitian tell you to do, but you're not getting healthier. They're giving you more and more and more pills for whatever ails you, right? It's time to ask some new questions, right? Embrace curiosity. Be curious about what you can do for yourself to change the trajectory of your own health, right? So, I have a question here. Yes. I hear you're hosting a meetup in Michigan. Oh, yes. I cannot wait to meet you. I cannot wait to meet you. Come to Michigan. At the end of this show tonight, I'm going to be showing my commercial for Impact. I was just getting ready to start talking about it. September 5th, 2026, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Don't miss it. Be there or be square. It's going to be amazing. We have some amazing folks coming in to talk to you. We've got Dr. Nelson, Dr. Kiltz, we've got Nurse Laura Russell. We've got a whole host um of influencers that are coming in that are going to be coming in to meet you here in Kalamazoo. And in addition to that, we have Carrie Mann, and I believe that Jen is coming in. I'm just speaking it into existence that Jen is going to be here. We have Emma Mann going to be here on site, and we are going to be screening the Healing Humanity documentary. So I'm super, super excited. Get your tickets. You will see that basically, yeah, George and Lainey from the UK are coming. I am so surprised that you're just hearing about it. So, yeah, I can't wait to meet you here in Kalamazoo. So, before I go, let me just say this. If you're looking for guidance, accountability, education, and support, myself and Coach Sherrod at CG Health Coaching are here to help. We are actually running a 7-day sugar free challenge for people who have not tried going sugar free yet, right? You just want to think about it. You want to try it out and see basically, will sugar free, what will it do? If you do it for 7 days, you're going to see something happen, right? And so we're offering that for free in our coaching group. So you can check the description box down below for information about that sugar free challenge. I'll make sure that I get that in there before I get off of here tonight. When people reduce sugar, improve their metabolic health, understand nutrition, and build sustainable habits, we want to help you do that and support your long term wellness. So come on in. We'll be happy to work with you, and you can come into our coaching group. Again, oh, I'm so sorry that you missed Montello. That is terrible. Oh my gosh. I did not plan to go, but man, I wish I was there. You know, it's one of those FOMO moments because Montello is like, it is the spot. Montello, Wisconsin, you guys, I'm talking about. It's the spot. You know, it's the world famous Montello Theater, and to be able to watch it on the big screen there would have been incredible, incredible. So I am so sorry to hear that you were not able to make it. So, what else do we have? We have our Hey Sister Girl Facebook group, which you can check out on Facebook. And yeah, so come to Impact. It's a community. It's all about education and encouragement, connection, meeting your favorite folks. And it's one of my favorite days of the year. This is like the second year running, and I'm super excited. You guys, it's going to be amazing. We're going to have a dance party. We're going to have some amazing, amazing food. And yes, there will be brisket there. We're going to have just so much food and fun and information. And so, yes, I'm excited to see everybody here in Michigan. If this episode encouraged you, challenged you, made you think, made you ask some different questions, go ahead and share this video with somebody that you know needs it. Yeah, we don't need fiber to survive, okay? And so, you guys, I'm finna go. Until next time. Keep asking questions, keep learning, keep growing. I'll see you next week right here on Hey Sister Girl.